He really knows how to push me. I haven't felt this good in years. That's what she said. Riley dropped her gym bag by the door like it was someone else's problem. She peeled off her hoodie, skin flushed from effort, hair messy in a way she'd never let me see it. She looked alive, radiant, like someone who hadn't come home, but returned from something she wished had lasted longer. She didn't look at me, just smiled to herself, grabbed a protein shake from the fridge and walked toward the guest room. I didn't respond. "Enjoy your workout," I said, eyes still on the coffee maker. "My name is Mark Halden. 44. Operational risk analyst at Ryder and Weller. I don't predict the future. I just map the ways it might collapse. I run simulations so others don't run bankrupt. I flag the failure points no one else sees. But somehow, I didn't see this one. Riley, 36, local TV host, morning anchor on Channel 6. Half smile, soft voice, always live from somewhere. When she walks into a room, people straighten their posture. When I walk in, no one notices. She used to say that made her feel safe. I believed her. I even hired Tiago. Brazilian-born, certified trainer, 6'2" and fluent in smirks, $620 per package, billed bi-weekly. I thought it was about stress relief, the cameras, the weight of being on every day. I thought I was helping. She said my world was too quiet, that she needed someone who pushed, not stabilized, and that our bedroom wasn't where she recovered anymore. So I gave her the guest room, bought blackout curtains, extra pillows, a better fan. She said it helped her wake up less tense. One morning I noticed the bed was too perfect. Not in a tidy way, but in a hotel way. Corners tucked by someone trained. A faint cologne I didn't wear. A charger I didn't buy. I didn't say a word. Just filed it away like a discrepancy in a balance sheet. That night I made coffee at 2 a.m. Couldn't sleep. She'd left her gym bag open. Inside, a folded note. In Portuguese. I translated it twice. The next day I ordered a backup drive. Silent install. No alerts. Just a shadow version of the house's security feed. I waited. That morning, when she came home glowing, I was already dressed. Fresh shirt, clean shave, calm hands. While she was in the shower, I sealed a padded envelope, labeled it, dated it, slipped it into the outgoing mail. When she walked out, towel in hair, she looked at me for the first time that day. "Hey, what are you doing today?" "Sending something," I said. She tilted her head. "Work?" "Not exactly." She narrowed her eyes. "What did you send?" I just handed her the tracking receipt. It was already processed. She went pale. "You didn't." I took a slow sip of coffee. "I don't overreact, Riley. I assess." She didn't speak. Just turned, walked back to the guest room and shut the door. 2 minutes later, I heard the lock click. Then the sound of drawers. Frantic, wooden, helpless. She was looking for it. What she didn't know was, I didn't send it to punish her. I sent it to protect someone else. And by morning, I'd have my answer. Before it all cracked, our house had rhythm. I woke up at 5:45 every morning. Riley at 6:10. I'd grind the beans while she brushed her teeth. She always said the smell helped her feel grounded. I never forgot that. She wore pastel robes in the morning. I wore the same navy one until it tore at the shoulder. She replaced it without saying a word. I noticed, of course. I liked silence in the morning. She liked music. Low-volume Motown or 80s soft rock. We compromised. Earbuds. On set, she was radiant. Channel 6's Sunrise anchor, Riley Voss, could soften any bad news. She had this way of blinking before she smiled, like she was reading a line no one else could see, and people loved her for it. I kept a TV on in my office during her segments, never with sound. I just watched the way she moved. I didn't need the words. She used to say I made her feel safe, that my stillness gave her space to breathe, and I believed her. I kept track of her favorite teas, had the pantry organized by type, not brand, installed better lighting in the bathroom when she said her concealer looked off on camera. Small things. Constant. Quiet. When she said her schedule was wearing her down, I suggested a trainer. Someone to help you decompress, I'd said. That was how Tiago entered our lives. He was polite, fit, confident in that way some men wear like cologne, subtle but present. Brazilian, early 30s, and deeply enthusiastic about cortisol levels. She's in great shape already, he told me, first session, but we'll push boundaries, break plateaus. Just don't break her, I replied. Riley laughed. I pretended to. The sessions were 3 times a week, then 4, soon 5. She started calling them therapy with sweat. She bought new gear, leggings that looked like paint, shoes that cost more than my office chair. It's just clothes, she said. They seem tailored. You're funny. But she didn't smile when she said it. One Thursday, we had dinner planned with her parents. She canceled an hour before. Tiago has a new stretch sequence, she texted. It's supposed to release trauma. Her mom called me, confused. I told her Riley was exhausted from work. That night, I heated the lasagna alone. She came home glowing. Didn't notice I was still at the table. A week later, I found her segment had been pre-recorded. She wasn't even at the studio when she said she was. That's when the friction started to turn sharp. I didn't confront, just observed. She talked about Tiago more than she asked about me. He made her sweat in ways that healed. He understood balance. I listened. I always listened. And one night, as she fell asleep early and exhausted from banded core work, I scrolled through her tablet. A deleted message on the lock screen. Just the system prompt. Message removed. Tap to restore. I didn't tap. I powered it down. She walked in minutes later, towel around her shoulders. You okay? She asked. I nodded. Just thinking about old risks. Some never go away. She didn't ask what I meant. That night she left her phone on the kitchen counter. I didn't check it, didn't need to. What mattered was what I'd placed in her glove compartment the week before. She'd started adding early morning sessions on weekends too. He says my body responds best before 7 a.m., she told me. You used to say that about pancakes, I replied. She didn't laugh, just grabbed her keys. On Sundays, I started going to the park, not for exercise, just to walk, watch, think. Once I saw her drive past, music loud, windows down. She didn't see me. Tiago was in the passenger seat laughing. I didn't tell her. Instead, I printed the photo from my dash cam, folded it once, slipped it in an envelope, filed it under QZ in our filing cabinet. I hadn't decided what to do with it yet, but I kept it. One morning I left for work late on purpose. When I returned an hour later, their cars were still in the driveway. I didn't go inside. Just stood at the edge of our lawn under the oak tree we planted our first year of marriage. From there I could hear, enough. I didn't rage, I didn't cry. I just made a note. A risk had become an incident. And incidents? I document those. By October I stopped brewing her coffee, she didn't notice. Or if she did, she poured her own without comment. Our mornings were silent, but not the good kind. Hers buzzed with notification pings and low phone calls behind closed doors. Mine ticked with spreadsheet macros and risk alerts from Tokyo. She said I was being distant. I said nothing. One morning, I found her filming an Instagram story with Tiago in our living room, shirtless, stretching, talking about alignment. She said, "Oh, Jack, you're in the shot. Can you move a sec?" I stepped out of frame. Didn't say a word. That afternoon, I boxed up the wedding china and stored it in the attic. No real reason, just instinct. A week later, I was pulling into the driveway when I saw them talking by her car. Tiago handed her a smoothie. She kissed his cheek, casually, like I wasn't real. When she saw me watching, she smiled and waved. "Hey, have you met Tiago properly?" He reached out with a protein shake grip. "Hey, bro. Heard you work in finance. Must be mentally intense." I looked him in the eye. "You speak in sets or full sentences?" She laughed. Too hard. He didn't get it. I excused myself to water plants that didn't need watering. That night, she said I embarrassed her. I apologized, without sincerity. She went to bed with her phone on her chest. It lit up twice. I didn't look. I ordered a safe the next day, installed it in the garage. She didn't ask what it was for. I didn't offer. 2 days before her birthday, she canceled dinner with my sister. Feels performative, she said, like pretending things are fine. Are they not? She blinked. You know they're not. I nodded once. That night I found the joint account short by $4,000. Travel charges, athleisure sites. One entry tagged Rio Recovery Center. I moved the remaining funds into a private account. She didn't mention it. Neither did I. One Sunday morning she said, I'm flying to Santa Barbara next week. Personal reset. With Tiago? She hesitated. It's a wellness retreat. Right. That night I opened the safe and placed one item inside, the original prenup, notarized and countersigned, along with her old employment contract with the station. She'd forgotten I kept copies. Then came the line. She was standing by the fridge post-workout drinking from a bottle Tiago left behind. I need someone who pushes me past my limits, Jack. Someone who makes me feel alive. I nodded. Right now you're just safe. Too safe. I took the recycling out. On the way back, I tossed Tiago's bottle in the trash. I didn't confront her, but I did start sorting the tax records, rescanned our mortgage paperwork, notified the family lawyer of an upcoming revision request. She was flying to California Friday morning. By Thursday night, she still hadn't packed. I left early that day, dropped off an envelope with her former producer at Channel 6, didn't say a word, just handed it over. He looked confused. He wouldn't be for long. On Wednesday, I overheard her laugh. Really laugh, for the first time in weeks. It wasn't with me. It came from the kitchen while I was upstairs in a Zoom meeting. I muted myself and listened. She said, "You're such an idiot," in that tone that used to be reserved for me early in the relationship. That night I moved the wedding photo from the hallway into the back of my closet. Not out of rage, just organization. She started locking her phone, Face ID only, changed her laptop password too. I didn't ask why. Instead, I updated mine, installed remote monitoring software on our shared iPad, just in case, not to spy, to verify. At dinner with her parents that weekend, she wore red, her on-air lipstick. Her father complimented her glow. She said it was the new training routine. I sipped water, didn't react. When they asked how work was going, she answered for me. He's busier than ever. Right, Jack? I smiled. Actually, I took a few days off, needed some clarity. She looked up, suddenly attentive. Everything okay? Couldn't be better. That night, I moved my files to a USB stick and deleted the traces. Not from fear, from certainty. I labeled it Jack, Archive A, and dropped it in the bottom drawer of my desk. Then I texted my friend Mark at the compliance office. Just said, lunch soon, need insight. He replied, Tuesday? That worked. On Thursday, she left her gym bag in the car. I opened it looking for my phone charger. Inside, cologne, not mine, a small folded towel, 2 protein bars, 1 condom wrapper. I didn't flinch. I zipped it closed and left it exactly where I found it. I stopped sleeping fully, just dozed in cycles. My body stayed in bed. My mind filed incident reports. At 3 a.m. one night, I heard her on the balcony, whispering. I watched from the hallway. Her phone lit her face. She was smiling, then serious, then smiling again. She didn't hear me walk away. By the time she saw what I'd sent, it was already too late to unsend anything. I woke up before the alarm, not from stress, just habit. She walked into the kitchen with a towel over her neck and that same smug glow, the kind people get after a win. Early session? I asked, sipping my coffee. She nodded, tying her hair up. He says I'm improving fast. Must be the lighting, I said. She didn't catch it. or pretended not to. By 9 a.m., I was parked 3 blocks from her studio, not watching the door, watching the alley. The exit Tiago always used to avoid parking tickets. He came out alone, phone to his ear, laughing. He turned the corner, didn't see me, but I saw his screen. A paused video. Her voice. I didn't move, just memorized the name of the app. Back home, I cleaned the safe, took out an old wristwatch, my father's, and slipped in a USB drive. Labeled it Q3 forecast. It wasn't. That afternoon, I sent an anonymous tip to a local sponsor of her program. Just the subject line. She might want to review her contract before Monday. No attachments, just bait. By 5 p.m., she came home early. Producers called. Someone sent them something. Oh, I said. Anonymous? She didn't answer, just stared at me. Tiago texted. I didn't read it, but I saw the preview. You told him, didn't you? She locked herself in the bathroom. The next day, our joint credit card was declined at the gas station. I checked the app. She'd marked every transaction as disputed. I opened our file cabinet. Her backup email passwords weren't there anymore. She'd removed them. But not the flash drive in her gym bag, the one she thought I didn't know about. It had videos, not of Pilates, of her, with someone else, not Tiago, someone from the station, someone who'd just been promoted to anchor. It wasn't scandalous, but it wasn't Pilates either, not by contract standards. That night, I saw her on the porch. She was on the phone, arguing. Then tell the board to call me directly. Pause. I don't care what clause it violates, and that footage is fake. Another pause. Then she looked through the window, right at me. I lifted my glass, didn't blink. She walked back in like a storm, trying to stay composed. You're enjoying this? No, I said. I'm just watching it unfold. She walked upstairs. Fast. I walked to the kitchen, opened the drawer marked taxes, and pulled out the copy of her sponsorship clause. Highlighted, underlined, annotated. I folded it once, put it in a new envelope, wrote only 2 words on it, Session 7, and mailed it to her program's compliance officer. The next morning, a new anchor opened the segment. Her name wasn't mentioned, but my phone buzzed during the closing credits, a message from an unknown number. Where did you get that footage? I didn't answer, just wrote 3 words and saved it as a draft. Check the contract. 2 days later, I got a call. Unknown number, Florida area code. Mr. Dorsey? Yes. This is Lance Boyer from the Vita Group. We sponsor the Morning Pulse segment on Channel 9. I waited. There's been a situation. A complaint was filed anonymously citing misconduct tied to one of the hosts. We traced some metadata to your residence. Can you confirm or deny any involvement? I didn't say a word. He exhaled. We're pulling our segment until we can review. Just, if there's more to come, let us know before we read about it. He hung up. I stared at the wall, then wrote Vita on a yellow sticky note and pinned it next to the thermostat. Not as a trophy, just a timestamp. That evening, she left for a meeting, wore more makeup than usual. I followed from 5 cars behind. She parked downtown, walked into a bar I knew well. Quiet, dim, the kind that used to be our place. She wasn't meeting Tiago. She sat across from the same man from the footage, the new anchor. They didn't touch, didn't smile, just argued. She looked scared. He looked bored. I recorded 10 seconds of her gesturing wildly. Nothing scandalous, just unhinged enough to clip. Back home, Tiago was waiting on the porch. Tank top, clenched jaw, that juvenile sense of justice. We need to talk, he said. I don't talk to contractors outside business hours. She's messed up right now, he said. You think this is funny? I think it's educational. You're playing games. No, I said. You just don't know the rules. He stepped closer. I opened the screen door slowly. The motion light caught his face. "I'm warning you," he said. Noted. I walked inside and closed the door behind me, slowly, quietly. That night I renamed the folder with all the footage, gave it a title no one would question. Honeymoon 2016, Cabo. Then backed it up to 3 locations. I didn't plan to use it, unless I had to. The next morning there was an envelope on the porch. No stamp, no name. Inside, a single printed page. Her contract, page 12. Highlighted line, public image clause, immediate termination upon breach of moral standards. Below it in handwriting, "That's what you're risking too, Jack." No signature. Just a faint perfume I hadn't smelled in months. She was getting creative. But I wasn't the one violating it. She was. And now, she knew I knew. She came back 3 nights later. No warning, no apology. Just the same set of keys she hadn't used in weeks. I was sitting in the kitchen, coffee in hand. She stood in the doorway like a student rehearsing a monologue. "Look, I overreacted, we both did," she started. "The gym thing, it was stupid, I wasn't thinking clearly." I didn't interrupt. She kept going. "Tiago, he was just there. And I was tired, always tired. It wasn't about him, I just needed something to feel in control of. You know what it's like being on camera every morning? I never got to fall apart." I took a sip. "I want to fix this," she said. "No lawyers, no drama, just us." She walked closer, placed her hand on mine. I didn't pull away. I also didn't speak. She leaned forward, kissed my cheek, cold lips, hot breath. "I'll make breakfast," she said. The next week she went live again, hair perfect, smile calibrated. But the tone had shifted. Her usual fire was gone. She was playing careful now, like someone driving a borrowed car. Still, the whispers online didn't stop. Her rebrand wasn't working. And then she made her move. An anonymous post appeared on a gossip blog. "Ex-husband uses illegal surveillance to frame respected news anchor. Footage doctored. Personal trainer sues for defamation." It was desperate, sloppy, and it backfired, because the footage hadn't been leaked. Not by me. I hadn't posted a single clip, hadn't shown it to anyone. So where did the rumors come from? That's what the network asked. That's what her sponsors asked. That's what a local reporter started asking too. A week later, the reporter published a calm, neutral article titled, "Timeline Discrepancies Surround Anchor's Public Defense." It didn't accuse her, just raised questions, like why her on-air statement didn't align with her own Twitter activity from that night, or why the leaked footage didn't exist anywhere. The network didn't fire her, but they took her off air pending review, indefinitely. I never said a word, never called anyone. I just mailed an envelope, no return address. Inside, 1 USB stick, 2 printed pages, and a note. Not for revenge, for record keeping. She showed up again 2 days later. This time she was shaking. Hair up, no makeup. Sweatshirt from a marathon she never ran. "I know it was you," she said. "You think I'd waste time leaking what you already confessed?" Her face collapsed. "I was wrong," she whispered. "All of it. I lost everything." "No," I said. "You just saw it clearly for the first time." She handed me papers. Divorce terms, clean split, no demands. She lingered. "I deserve worse," she said. "I'm not here to balance the universe." I signed. She stared at the pen in my hand. "You could have ruined me." I nodded. "I could have. So why didn't you?" I leaned back in the chair. "I could have burned everything down. That's why I didn't." She didn't cry. She just left. 3 days later, I found a small envelope at the door. No stamp, no seal. Inside, a single photo. Us. From years ago. And a note. 1 sentence. No name. "I'm sorry you had to teach me the value of silence." I placed it in the drawer with my passports. Didn't look at it again. But I didn't throw it out either. The new place didn't have much. One bedroom, bare walls, a couch I picked, not inherited, and silence that didn't echo. It settled. Most mornings started the same. Coffee, black, no sugar, no distraction. I ran a few miles before the sun got arrogant. The city smelled different at that hour, less like ambition, more like asphalt and regret. The scar on my shoulder from a herniated disc reminded me I'd been paying for her gym obsession longer than I thought. Still, the mornings were mine now. On Sundays, I restored things, not furniture, just order. A drawer here, a bent hinge there. I wasn't fixing the house. I was resetting control. One afternoon, my neighbor, Paul, early 60s, retired fireman, leaned over the fence. "You know," he said, "I saw someone who looked like your ex on TV last week, but she didn't sound like her. Something was off." I smiled. Could have been anyone. He nodded and went back to raking leaves. I went back to sanding. That night, I opened the drawer. The photo she left. Us. Happier times, maybe, or just better acting. I placed it in a manila envelope. Wrote one word in black ink. Closed. Slid it into the back of the file cabinet. Locked the drawer. Tossed the key in the toolbox. I didn't light a fire. I didn't toast to survival. I just stepped outside, locked the front door, and walked. No one was watching. That was the point. She needed to be seen. I needed to disappear. The gentleman's revenge isn't loud, but it's always personal. If this felt personal, make it personal. Subscribe now, and don't miss tomorrow's story.